Good morning.
Thank you. Let's start with the configurations. Ideally, this is supposed to take only 3 classes, but because of not having power continuously or whatever reasons, we were not able to complete it in 3 classes. Okay, so I think last time what we were doing was we have discussed about message types. Okay, and what else are we doing? The material master under basic settings, define attributes of system messages. So this is what we have done. I think we have changed um, what you call the attribute of the message for the standard price control. In case if you have a standard price control, yes, in the material master the value should be maintained. Unless you maintain the value in the material master, system will throw another message. I think that's the one that we have maintained. So like that you can convert any message, an information or informative or warning message into another message, or if the business doesn't want and a hard error, you can convert that hard error into warning message, or if the business doesn't want to see a certain message at all, you can suppress the message. And here is the control for all those stuff. Right? So once we complete the basic settings, we will then go ahead with settings for key fields. So here, let's go and define our own material groups. I think Pavitra, a couple of days back, you have asked me, can we create our own material groups? Did you remember that question?
So Venkat, before we go over there, how
Yes, sir.
we can have our custom messages can be put on? Because so far, whatever we have seen standard messages, correct? So
let me show you this. So how to have our own custom messages? That's the first question. So what you have to do, sir, is obviously this is not your job. Your ABAPer will create our own custom messages using transaction code SC91. Where will they be available? You could see here above workbench, under here overview, development, um, user interface. No, this is not user interface. Programming environment. You see here under programming environment, SC91 is the transaction code to create our own messages. If I remember correctly, yesterday also I was trying to create my own message class or application area. So like this, you can create your own application area or a message class. Okay, so like this, you go and create your own message class and application area. Of course, you have to give the package name as well, and then you start creating message numbers. Ideally, they will be creating all these things. For example, let me copy the message class. Okay, to message from message class Venkat. Okay, now reverse. Let's say I wanted to have a certain thing. I'll go and you see here message class. I'll rename it as Venkat. Okay. Now you see here you give the package name also as Venkat. Does not exist. So therefore package needs to be created first. You create it, you create the package, and then you go and create your own messages. For example, yesterday we have got this 128 message, right? To display it, right? So here, like this, you will have so many things. Similarly, what you can do is you can ask your ABAPer to create a specific message, and that message needs to be maintained in this table. You see here, this table, T100, and T100 is the table where we keep all the messages. Once you have that message in the table, SE16 T100. Okay, this is the one which contains all the messages. Language English. If you can go, you could see here 6,25,379 messages available in the system. Okay, it's not only meant for SAP MM but for all the modules, right? So your mapper will be creating a message class under a certain package, and under a certain message class you can create a message number. Once that is available, you can place it over here under this place. Okay, this is how. Once it is available, you can just go with change mode. Of course it's in change mode, but again you have to work with some other table. This table is called you see b underscore 160 m. Okay, so that this is nothing but this is another table. So you go into this table, you maintain it so that it is available for you to use it in the application. Is it clear, Sridhar?
Yes, Venkat. So it's basically if we have anything, we already can configure. Otherwise, we can.
Correct. All these standard messages given by SAP, you yourself can configure as a functional contact. If it is a new message which needs to be developed, it should be developed in the programming environment, like the one that I've shown you here. It should be developed under the programming environment. Once it is done, you should keep it in a proper place from which you can pick and choose the message and set the attribute, whether it is an error message or a warning message.
Okay, Venkat, I got it. Thank you.
The next one is material groups, right? So, Pavitra, to answer your question, the one that you asked me a couple of days back, yes, we can create our own material groups. Now you see, this is the transaction code. I think OMSF is the transaction code to create our own message types. Transaction code OMSF. Now you tell me, Pavitra, which material group would you want me to create? You go with new entries and
yeah.
I'm giving this key 100, 200. It's a key. You can give even the alphabets also, but I'm going with numeric value.
Welding supplies.
Okay, so this is shorter description. Do you have any other longer description? If you don't have it, you can give them this one as well. Okay, like this, you just have to create it. Okay, you need not have to provide anything.
Welding accessories. Welding accessories, so many, sir. Welding cards, sir. Electronic welding cards.
Okay, you want me to create one more? Welding equipment accessories.
Right, sir. EQPT, UPT. Welding equipment, EQPT, abbreviation. PT.
1 second.
Accessories.
Equipment accessories. Okay. Same thing. You put it here. Okay. There is something called authorization. This group is meant for authorization group. You can actually control who are all can create a material belongs to this material group. That you can do it, provided if you want to restrict this material to be used or to be created or to be modified by a specific group. For that you have to work with basis team to identify a relevant authorization group for the material master. But otherwise, these two fields doesn't have any significance in general. Default unit of weight in the material master. In case if you want to, based on the material group, if you want to default a unit of measure, you can specify it. But again, this is no more being used. So you can just go and create it like this. Now you see I have created two material groups. Now if I wish to use, I can use these two /n mm01. I'm trying to create my own material, although I may not complete it, but I'll just show you whether they will be available or not.
So
Okay.
can we have an our own number changes for the material group also?
Our own number change numbers, yeah, why not?
Number
Possible.
ranges.
Yeah, definitely possible. Now you see here 100, 200, right? That's what I've given. It would be here somewhere. Yeah, these are the ones. Yes. Okay. You can give as whether it is alphabet or numerics, it doesn't matter. Okay. It takes whatever you give it over here. Right? So this is about your material group, how to create your own material group. Similarly, sometimes you know what happens is you may have to link your material group with the vendor's material group. What does it mean? For example, this welding, what is that we have created? Welding accessories.
Welding electrodes. Welding accessories.
Okay, that group you call it as welding accessories, but the vendor from which you procure these materials, the welding related materials, be it electrodes or whatever, gas, etc., he grouped under different group of material. So what happens is, in case if you want to link your material group with the vendor's material group, you can create vendor's material group here. Of course, this needs to be given by the vendor himself. Okay, so you can make it here vendor material group, something like this. Okay, VM group for welding accessories. Okay, something like this. You save it. This is not a commonly used functionality, so therefore you could see here there are not many external material groups. So what happens is, now you see you give something over here, base unit of measure, let's say each. Your material group 100, 200 will be available here. Come on, cancel. You see here external material group. Here I can give this vendor material group. So therefore what happens, while taking printout of the PO along with your material group, even vendor material group also does appear on your PO printout. So therefore by using this, by seeing this, vendor will recognize what exactly the purchasing company or rather the buyer wants it. Okay, so this is to enhance the communication. This is to improve the efficiency of understanding, identifying what the customer wants it. So therefore, if you want to use it, you can use it. Otherwise, also you can skip it. Normally, this is not being very frequently used functionality. Right? Then there is something called defined divisions. Did we created the sales and distribution organization structure also?
Yes, sir.
I think so. Right? So in one of the in the sales and distribution, I'm sorry, I should not have gone with this one. I should have gone with structure. In sales and distribution organization structure, you have something called distribution channel and division. Okay, so the division can be specified here. Okay, here under defined division, you can just go and define your own division. Let me come out of this screen. Stop transaction. Okay, so here you see I'll go into define division. So these are various divisions available. Okay, now you see here I'll once again go with EC0 and structure. navigation. Is it navigation or art unit? Let me see. Did you remember what is the division that we have created? I think we have created some division. NV or ND, something
70.
like. Oh, sorry, 70.
70.
70 is not there, Pavitra.
Yeah, that is what I have asked you the last session.
No, you see
It is
here,
not
it is
showing.
there. It's not 70, but it's 77. Division per Nissan. 70 is distribution channel. I might have defined 70 as distribution channel. Okay, here it is division per Nissan. So either you can define it over there or you can define it over here. Under new entries, you can go and define it. Okay, so this is basically meant for one of the organizational unit. Okay, like your company code is 777, isn't it? Okay, you see here, when you double click it, you would see the entire organization structure in the graphical way. Okay, so company, when you go into it, company code, control area, credit control area. If you go into plant, Chennai plant, okay, location, company code, shipping point, purchase organization. Okay. Right. So this is how you should go and look at it. Anyhow, nevertheless, I have got my own group here, my division. So here, so I need not have to go into that place. And then material statuses. Did you remember the material statuses? In the material master, you have explained material status, and if you go into purchasing, you have something called plant specific material status, right? This plant specific material status, if you look into it, you will see certain statuses: blocked for procurement, blocked for task list, blocked for purchasing. You see here, free for pilot phase, blocked for procurement, inventory, etc., etc. These are the statuses. You will have it in the purchasing group 001, 2. The same things will be available even here under explained material status also. You know where are they coming from? They are actually coming from material statuses. Here, define material statuses. So here you can define your own material statuses, like say hazardous material, whatever, uh, free for pilot phase, or discounted material, something like that. Okay, so whatever material status you wanted to specify, you can specify them, you can define them over here. Okay, let me create my own material group here. Somebody created ZS, but there is no description here. Let me see if I have an option to delete here. Okay, because there is nothing here, I can delete this. Now, which status do you want? You tell me any one status which you would like to have. Can I go and create hazardous material, something like that?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, so either you can say hazardous material or a discounted material.
Venkat, can we have, like, for example, hazardous material is some sort of a material type, correct?
Correct.
But status is either it is active, inactive, obsolete, or prototype kind of a thing. Status, what we can put.
Correct.
So basically, this will block what kind, whether it can be used for purchasing or not, or It can be like those kind of restrictions we are going to apply using this status.
You're right. You're right, Sridhar.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to specify it also. Let's say once you go into details, okay, simply creating a new entity and leaving as it is doesn't serve any purpose. Okay, so what we have
we can make it as inactive so that
exactly. You see here that's what I'm going to create it. For example, hi Sudhakar. Sudhakar, can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Looks like he has got some problem. Although he did join, looks like he has got some problem with the speaker. Right. So, Sudhakar, to answer your question, let's say I'm going to use this one, details. Look at here, I'm making it as copy as, and let me create my own material, my own material status. Let's say CM blocked for, or rather not for planning, or something like that. Something like not for plan. That means what? You cannot plan this material. You need not have to plan this material. That's the meaning that I wanted to pass. Okay. This means what? Whenever if somebody tries to plan this material, my system should throw a message saying that this material is not meant for planning. This material means the material having this status is not meant for planning. So here you see here plant specific settings. Under that purchasing messages, you will have option A, B, means allowed or not allowed or something like that. You see here no message, A is warning, B is error message. This is only I wanted if somebody trying to plan do MRP on a material having this status, only then I wanted an error message. Rest of the cases I need not have to have any message. So therefore purchasing message I can say warning, right? You see here bill of materials, nothing has been specified means suppressed. Then routing and receipt, this is for the production planning. I don't mind. MRP, material requirement planning. This material should not be planned. So therefore, if somebody tries to plan this material, I wanted an error message to be appearing here. MRP message, L&T planning message. What is this L&T planning message? Let me check it. Long-term planning. Okay, so even this is also no planning is required for this material, so therefore I can give it this one. Independent requirements, even this also you can make it as warning message. Means nothing, no sort of planning is required for this material, right? So like this, you see Sudhakar here, these are the controls. If this material is going to be used in purchasing, you can use it with warning message. In bill of materials, if you try to use it, it will not give you any message. Only in MRP, if you use this material, if you try to run MRP, it gives you an error message. Okay. In inventory, okay, you can allow with warning. In plant maintenance, you can suppress it, or you see these are basically various application areas, if I have to say, right? In which application area do you want to restrict this material having status not for planning, something like this. Okay, and then you just go and save it. Now upon saving, if you want to use this material status, you can use it. Now just go and search for the status, you would see that. You see here, not for planning. And remember one thing, whenever you are giving explained material status or a plant specific material status in purchasing view, this material or the field value is always associated with valid from. You have to give this one, valid from. Without this, system will not allow you. You are setting up a status, okay? You are setting up a status, and you should state from which date this should be valid. That you have to specify. If you are not giving explained material status or what you call plant specific material status, you need not have to specify valid from. So this valid from field is directly dependent on the explained material status or on the plant specific material status. So just always remember, when you are giving material plants explained material status, you have to provide the data here in valid from also, right? So this is meant for that. Let me go back. And let me stop this application so that it will be a little faster. Just give me a moment, I'll be back in a minute. Let me have some water. Oh shit. Now, let me PowerPoint ready. This is creating too many problems. Sir, wait చేద్దామండి ఒక 15-20 minutes. కొంచెం ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేయండి. నేను హ్యావ్ టు యాక్చువల్లీ నేను తీసుకున్నాను కానీ బట్ అది మన బండ్లో మా ఫ్రెండ్ మా టీమ్మేట్ ఒక ఆయన ఈ స్టేస్ ఎట్ వనస్థలిపురం. సార్ నేను అక్కడికి రావడానికి కోరుకున్నాను లేదు మీ ఇది మాత్రం నెట్ కనెక్ట్ ఇచ్చాను. సో రిటర్న్ టు మీ. సో వెయిట్ చేద్దామండి ఒక 15-20 minutes. If the power comes, I'll continue. Or else I may have to take it back and use the alternative internet connection. అవునండి, అంటే అది అట్లాగే ఇస్తుంది. బట్ వన్స్ ఐ రీలాగ్స్ ఇన్ అంటే మళ్ళీ నాకు పవర్ వచ్చిందనుకోండి. సో వన్స్ ద నెట్ గెట్స్ యాక్టివేటెడ్ ఇట్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ అంటే నాకు వెంటనే లాగిన్ అవుతుంది. యూ మే హ్యావ్ టు రీ-ఎంటర్ ద సేమ్ మీటింగ్ ఐడి. సరే. థ్యాంక్ యూ చెప్పండి. పర్చేసింగ్ అండి, MM పర్చేసింగ్, మెటీరియల్ మాస్టర్ పర్చేజ్, మెటీరియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ లో పర్చేసింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి. మీరు ఇంకా మనం స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదు. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇది పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ పర్చేసింగ్. సో ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్, తర్వాత ఈ మెటీరియల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్, మెటీరియల్ మాస్టర్స్, వెండర్ మాస్టర్స్, దెన్ పర్చేసింగ్ వస్తుంది. యాక్చువల్గా మనం ఇది స్టార్ట్ చేస్తుండాల్సింది, బట్ ఈ పవర్ ఫ్రీక్వెంట్ గా డిలే అయిపోతుంది. సో నేను ఇంకా ప్లాన్ చేసుకుంటానండి. నేను నా మెకానిక్ తీసేసుకుంటాను మొదలు నుంచి. అవునండి, ఇంట్లో పవర్ పోతే నాకు నెట్ పోతుంది. బేసికల్గా నాకు యూపీఎస్ లేదు, ల్యాప్టాప్ కదా, ల్యాప్టాప్ అయితే 4 hour బ్యాకప్ ఉంది. ఇంట్లో ఇన్వర్టర్ లేదు నాకు. సారీ ఫర్ ద ట్రబుల్.